What's up guys, it's SubjectIndigo and I am here in Pharos Sirius hard. Just get a Defiance up and no notifications, so it looks like everyone here has played through before. We are playing as my main character, main class, which is Warrior. If you didn't watch my intro video, and we not off to a good start. Way too big of a pull. But we are going to make the best of it. And I've never played with two bards before, so also don't know how that's going to turn out for us. But it seemed to go fine. Alright. So yes, normally you'd want to try and pull those two separately unless you're playing with a healer that knows what they're doing, and obviously since this is a duty finder one, I don't know if they're competent or not yet, but it seems like Merzalet Storm is doing alright. And then in these groups, you want to take out the Corrupted Flan first, which should be obvious, but he's going to do the most damage. The Corrupted Slimes are more just cannon fodder. I'm playing with two bards. I'm seeing have to be more careful about holding aggro, because these guys keep peeling off of me when normally they would not. Alright, down here, doesn't really matter who you target first. I like to get rid of these sprites, but again, these mobs are not, for the most part, until we get down past the second boss, mob order, trash mobs don't really matter. Nonetheless, I mark anyway. This is probably not the best first impression, because I'm not holding aggro well at all. I'm just playing as how I normally play, but usually, you know, I'd hopefully have one. Oh, and we missed that treasure coffer on the pipe there, but that's just, oh, someone got it. It's just potions, so not a big deal if you do miss it. Yeah, I'm just playing how I normally play, and every time I've been through this, I've surprisingly had no dual classes for help. But I'm seeing that with this, if I have two ranged classes, especially if they're doing AoEs, then I need to be a little bit more careful. And then with Warrior, I find that once I get, say, good once I get some good aggro on bosses, for the most part, I can usually jump into Deliverance and kind of go into DPS mode there. And then this fight, if you get tagged with one of the tethers, you want to pass the tether off to one of the bird ads. And that's pretty much it as a tank in here. You know, just keep this guy at in the same spot for the most part. He doesn't really do any AoEs. And let the DPS take care of the ads, and your healer can keep you up. Search for the bird. I have been told never to pass these off, the tethers off to a spider. I don't know why. And I think that I took too long there with the passing off the tether, so it turned into that corruption guy. I gotta pop some cooldowns. Oh shit, okay, we're good, we're good. Yeah, so normally, as long as everyone knows what they're doing, this is a pretty smooth fight. You know, I think that I definitely took too long passing off that one tether, so that kind of fucked us over a bit. But it wasn't terrible. No one wiped. And apparently, someone my free company is talking about is a beached whale. With these time bombs here, they're just gonna keep spawning until we get to the generator, which will come up in a bit. Until then, just, you know, let him get close enough to aggro, and then let him pop. Also, make sure to face these guys, the Construct 8s, away from your group, because they do quite a few AoEs. Now, you know, if I see him, the time bomb, I'll go ahead and throw a tomahawk at them, so I don't have to worry about dodging the detonation. These guys, I always get rid of goblins first, no matter what. I'm gonna pull these back towards us. There is another Construct 8 around the corner, and you know, we haven't been doing super hot as a group. Partially my fault, I admit. But he's here anyway, so I'm gonna tag him to go first. And I know a lot of warriors don't cross-class Flash because they have overpower. The Flash can be super helpful if you can't get all of your ads up in a lot to be sort of in a cone in front of you. Or if you don't want to spam overpower to reestablish or to gain original aggro, because you can use up MP and not really worry about it. It's the only, I think it's the only cross-class skill that you can use that uses MP, and none of the warriors' innate skills use it, so just gotta run by these guys. Alright, these guys, just in case no one in my thing knows, Mark the bomb incubators. These are what are spawning those time bombs, so you want to get rid of these as fast as possible. Again, I'm guessing my group knows that because I didn't get the notification that anyone here was new, but just in case. Oops, I marked a time bomb by accident. That's okay. And with these guys over here, you're going to want to get rid of the Pikmin first, because they have AoEs that can, just make this. There are only 3 of them, so not difficult, but, a little less annoying. I don't know why I'm losing aggro so much. This has never happened in this dungeon. God, I can't remember the last time I lost aggro. And I'm wondering if it's just because the bards are spamming AoEs needlessly, honestly. But it's really fucking annoying. Especially since I mark. It's one thing, I know a lot of tanks don't mark on trash mobs. But if I'm gonna, take the 2 seconds it takes to do it, and it's not hard, follow it. All right, so with this guy, again, not super difficult. Hey, stop that! With this, as a tank, you don't really need to worry. The farther you are away from it, the less damage it'll do. But, as long as you're in a tanking stance, you should be fine. Those fissures in the ground where the smoke is coming up, the DPS should take one of the corrupted gels and kill it on top of it. But again, that's never really going to be your job as a tank. I'm going to switch to DPS mode now because I have good aggro. Again, this fight is pretty simple as a tank. And now, once he tethers to these alchemy engines, you want to get rid of them as soon as possible. The main guy is also going to kind of do this corkscrew attack throughout the room until the alchemy engines are killed. So, unless you're super low on health, it's not going to really matter. It doesn't do that much damage as you just, loose screw. Only did 1446 with a 20% parry. But if your healer hasn't been able to keep up, or, if they died or whatever, just keep an eye out whichever direction he's facing when he's at the edge, and charging it is whichever way he'll go. And I've seemed to notice that he tends to target the tank wherever you're originally standing when he gets to wherever he's going to start charging it from, but that may just be coincidence. Yeah, so I think he definitely does target the tank, because if you just saw there, he targeted me twice. Or maybe not, he just targeted our healer, so who knows. Stay out of that AoE. Yeah, batter can do a fair amount of damage. Shouldn't really matter if you're up to high health, but if not, you want to watch out for it. And that's it. Again, not super difficult. Alright, so in this area, obviously Bomb Incubator goes first, and then we're going to try and get the Pikmin down. I'm also definitely noticing that my my skill is degraded due to having to talk and explain what I'm doing. Think about what I'm saying so I don't sound like a dumbass. But you know, necessary sacrifice for the channel. For the channel. Alright, this guy, we're going to want to take down a Living Rock first. He does some pretty big and far-spanning AoEs. But my healer's been pretty competent, so I'm also going to pick up these guys and just bring them over here. And as you can see, the Living Rock will also occasionally drop his aggro table when he does some of his AoEs, so, you know, your DPS and healers have to live with it. And it seems Kadar is not paying attention to my marks, so, you know, he will not be getting our commendation at the end. Not that he's doing a bad job, but, you know, if you make my life more complicated when I do things to make all of our jobs less complicated, you not on my good side. Alright, now in this area there are 2 bomb incubators, which the DPS are going to take care of. I'm going to go around and grab all of the ads, because if they attack down those walls right there, which happens pretty fast, especially because the bombs from the incubators go over there, then some big ads spawn. I think another Living Rock. And one of those big armor guys, whatever their names were. The other nice thing about Flash, which, you know, most people at this level know, is that it does not interrupt combos. So, you know, like right there, I was in the middle of a heavy swing main Storm's Eye combo. Felt I might have been about to lose some aggro due to these goddamn bards spamming AoEs. So I popped off a flash in the middle, and it did not reset. Reset the global cooldown, but didn't reset the combo. Alright, and I believe this brings us to the final boss, which again is pretty easy. It doesn't have very many mechanics. It's a 2-stage, or technically 3-stage boss fight, which you'll see. Just make sure we have a ready check going, which I usually do, but forgotten because I've been talking. And we're ready to go. So this guy, the first guy, Progenitrix, keep him facing away. It doesn't really matter where. I tend to do him in the middle. I think that's easiest because at a certain point, bombs are going to spawn, and you want to keep them away from him, especially away from me. So obviously the center is going to be the easiest place to do that. And then, I don't entirely know the mechanics here, which is probably not the best thing to admit. I know the gray bombs, you want to take those down first, because as you can see here, they are going to swell. I don't know what happens if they keep swelling. I've never had a team that's let them. Usually DPS will take care of that. Unfortunately, at that time, you know, there was one right behind me, so I got that. Here, when he goes into the center, when he's at about 15% health and start casting big bursts, you need to just burn him. So no matter what tank you're playing, go into DPS and burn him down. Otherwise, it does massive AoE damage. In this phase, it's like a mini in-between phase, take down the gray bombs ASAP, otherwise they will swell and something, I'm assuming, horrible will happen. And then once they're down, just burn these lava bombs. And this guy appears, Progenitor. In this phase, more gray bombs are going to spawn, and they're also going to be remedy bombs. You want to keep the remedy bombs away from the gray bombs. And when you hit them, they fly in the opposite direction, or in the same direction as you hit them from. So that's all you have to do. Oftentimes I'll just hit and overpower, so I don't have to get super close, and that way I know relatively where they'll fly away to. As you can see, he's casting big burst now. Obviously not much we can do about that. We'll pop a cooldown. So let's see, we have a remedy bomb over there, the blue guy, and our gray bomb is over here. I'm gonna help out and keep him away. And then when the gray bomb is killed, the remedy bomb will also fall. So you don't need to worry about killing it, just keeping it away. Another big burst, I'm going to pop another cooldown. Even though it seems I didn't need to. Now there are going to be multiple gray bombs. So again, just let your DPS sort of handle that. I know there have been some times where I've had to help. But, you know, our DPS seems to be doing alright. So for now, I'm just going to help by keeping the remedy bombs away. And sometimes if you do that, you'll see that they go in the direction opposite of what you intended. So that's why I prefer a Tomahawk usually, or an Overpower, because a melee attack can sometimes send them in the opposite direction if your hitbox, I guess, is on the opposite side. And there's one of our DPS finally LBing. A little bit too late, but it doesn't matter because we won. Pass on that, and we're good to go. Got my 40 esoterics, which is awesome. This one was not a roulette, so I'm not gonna get an extra. But yeah, Pharos Sirius I think is the easier of the two experts. As you saw, it was really difficult even with a duty finder team. Let me get my player commendation in, which will go to our healer. Even with the duty finder team, really wasn't that bad. We never wiped, not a single person died. And it was pretty fast. So thanks guys for watching, and I have learned after this I should probably do guide videos with commentary after recording, so that I can focus more on being a dope tank. But that's about it. I will be back probably with a guide, or at least a run through of the other 60. What is it? Is that the Arboretum? Yeah, Saint Mocians, however you pronounce it, Arboretum. And we'll see you soon.